Good morning, Wildlings. I wanted to come on this morning. Oh, jeez, that's how awake I am. I wanted to come on this morning and talk a little bit. Where's my camera? I think you're there. Talk a little bit about making your life easier for yourself by by simplifying it a little bit and treating yourself a little bit like a toddler. Because if you're new to this kind of work, which is, reflecting on yourself and taking accountability for your actions and maybe looking at how you're affecting your own life, the key for me, and this was the hard bit because I am autistic and there's a lot of things in our brain that don't trigger this easily, but realizing that I am an adult and that I can do things like eat cake for breakfast or have one piece of my bagel have my pate on it and the other side of my bagel have my cream cheese and chili jelly, which is not with some apples. And this is a part of how my brain works, and I've had to go through a lot of years of shadow work to get to this place, to be able to say, I will completely accept how my brain works and how my body works so I can actually start to enjoy life. Because a lot of the time I was spending forcing myself to be an adult, or in my mind, the way I would think about it is being a human, because my life isn't typical and the way my brain works isn't typical. So I was always holding myself to this standard of, this is what my life should look like, because that is what I was told my life would look like. And then when I really started to slow down and I really looked at the patterns in my life, which is the first part of the shedding, is actually getting to know you again and your own natural rhythms and what you need and what you actually like. I have a list, and I'm going to post some pictures of these below the video, but I have some lists in my kitchen. I actually have one that says Emma's needs, and things on there are like, I need my undercut shaved because it actually, sensory wise, this is way too much for me. And I started to realize when it starts to get long. There's here, so I may have to go. This is how lives work in my house. And once I started reminding myself that I need silence, I need, what else is on there? My undercut. I need to hydrate. Like, these little cups have saved my life. And I've talked about them before, but they're color changing cups. So I know when there's cold water in here. I know when it's empty because I'm noticing that the color isn't as fun anymore. Having little things like this make a world of difference for me. And I'm just waiting to see if this is an Amazon delivery. I don't order from Amazon. It's always my husband, or whether this is actually something I have to get up for. So I'm just going to be patient and wait instead of like panic myself and turn this video off and then have to restart it. Somebody's here. Also, again, I've been having auditory hallucinations. If you didn't know, that is a part of perimenopause. Isn't that fun? The other day, I thought I heard the electrician drilling on the side of the house. Wasn't even here. Wasn't even here. So, well, maybe nobody's here now because I think the dogs would be freaking out if there was. So, okay, we'll continue. So my breakfast I make really easy. I actually have a big sign on one of my whiteboards that says eat before 10. So I'm a little late today. So I'm going to miss my energetic kind of wave, and I will have to build myself up a little bit. I now know myself enough that if I don't eat by 10, if I don't hydrate right after I have my coffee, I will be miserable. My brain won't function the right way. My attention span is all over the place because I need these things for my brain to function properly. And that is really what the shedding is all about, is finding your needs, your literal foundation that creates me. My foundation is nature. My foundation is nurturing myself. If I don't have those things, I can't do the things I need to do. And I know that if I consistently show up for myself, if I consistently do those things that I need, I am functioning at a much higher rate than if I didn't do those things for me. And the only way to move past all of that is discipline. And for me, as somebody who has ADHD, the combined one, so it's hyperactivity and the other one I can't remember. I have both of those, and it is very hard for me to sit still and plan things. It's very hard for me to even think that it's worth it to do all of this scheduling and structuring. And I also have a lot of shame around the idea that I need all of that to just function as a normal human being. And that is because society has made divergent individuals feel less than, that we need to be accommodated for, that we need to be the ones that are medicated. Well, I found out that that medication actually counteracts everything that I do to help myself be stable. So what society wants me to do is actually harmful for me. So I've had to really look at what is available for me and my brain, what society thinks is good for me and my brain, and then what is actually good for me and my brain. And those two things are so far apart that during this kind of unmasking and late diagnosis, I have realized that a lot of the things that I was doing in my daily routine, in my life, was actually harming me and making me more anxious and more overwhelmed, because I was trying to fit into a society. I used to stutter a lot. That's one of the things that I am allowing myself to do. I masked stuttering so hard. So hey, Melissa, thanks for joining. So now I allow myself to make mistakes in front of people. I allow myself to stutter in front of people. And those things have actually relaxed my nervous system so much that I can sit here and say, it's actually good for me to have a very slow morning. It's actually good for me to only eat like around 10 o'clock. It's good for me to have my one coffee, go for a walk with the dogs, and then come back and do my live, do my one video. And when I stick to that consistency, when I stick to that schedule and rhythm that I know my body likes, I can feel like I can do anything. Something clicked yesterday, and I mean, if you don't know, Jane Goodall passed at 91 yesterday. If I'm wiggling, it's because the dogs are trying to get my bagel. And that was Odie. I am doing a video and you need to relax and go lay down. I have this dog that if you don't actually tell him what you need him to do, he doesn't do it, and he like makes those noises at you. So I have learned through this process that I'm teaching you all of these things, and I am going to show you what I did to my calendar today. I'm going to post the pictures in the comments below so you can see how this works for me. It's not fancy. It's really easy to do. It's free. Anybody can do it. And it's really simple. I've had enough with you this. No, you are being a boss. He barked at me to go for a walk. He barked at me like, and what he wants right now is this. Yeah, the list on the fridge, I will show you. I have my big ass calendar. I have a whiteboard. I have a to-do list. Oh my God, these dogs. I have a to-do list, and then I have a weekly calendar. I'm trying not to lose it. I'm being hunted by my dogs. I'm having to move this. I don't know what. I don't feed you ever. I never give you. Okay, this is my life. Why did I ask for this? Okay, I'm gonna put this up so I don't have to deal with their craziness. Okay, let me finish this dogs. Look at this. Odie, Freya. Come on. Give me some peace. It's not. My bear has come back. I think you're getting something. My bear has come back. I've realized the bear is a protector. If you haven't read my book, there is a story in there. I think there's a story in there. I have to go back and read my own book. But I had a fever when I was 2 years old. And when I woke up, there were snakes all over the floor and there was a bear by my bed. I know. And then when I did my chalkboard drawing, I don't know why I wrote it down, but it said, "What is your bear?" And then during another trance that I did, the bear showed up and showed me that the bear is my protector part. My bear is the part that comes out of me when I need mothering, when I need to be taken care of. And it's funny because Odie brought me the bear card from the Druids tarot, the Wildwood tarot. I think there's a bear in there. Yes. And I thought it was over. And I thought that because he'd actually ripped the cards just kind of to say, but I think it was more of you need to be protecting yourself. So yes, the bear is back. So I want to teach you all of these things. And I've been teaching you all of these things for years, for probably 5-6 years. This has been the main focus of my teaching is cyclical living. The main focus of my teachings has been going and reflecting on ourselves and then learning how to read the signs. And the signs can be anything. And I think that is one of the things that people get really stuck in. You know, so many people are like, oh my God, well, I asked for a pink elephant and it didn't show up. Yes, if you start seeing pink elephants, I can understand why that. I really need to train him. I keep saying that because he's decided He's jealous of me, and it's getting a bit much. Odie, I can't anymore, man. So, anywho, I have my calendar that tells me by the week what I'm supposed to be doing. What's going on, child? Come here. Come here. Come here. He usually does this if I haven't smoked my joint, and I haven't smoked my joint yet today. He can tell when my energy spikes, and actually gets really disrupted by it. And now he's flopping down on my feet. Just because I acknowledged that I haven't smoked my joint, and it may be my emotions rumbling out of my body. He is, and I'm really realizing how intuitive Odin is. And I'm just going to start calling him by his name, because if you also don't know, I do practice a little bit of Norse paganism. My dogs are Freya and Odin. Like, you can't really be more. I'm literally calling their names every day. And Odin is a little bit of an instigator, is a little bit of a troublemaker, and he does hang himself upside down for like attention and knowledge. He will do anything he can to get me to do the things I need to do, which is really funny. Like, he'll lay on my Reiki table and bark at me until I give him Reiki. And yesterday he continued until I laid down on the table. We are brought, and I do truly know that Odie and Freya are my familiars, and I always have familiars show up for me. Sophie and Olive taught me so much. If you can allow yourself to be given messages, and this is truly it, the messages are there. And this is the other piece. Once you start tracking, once you start acknowledging the cycles and patterns in your own life, and whether that is relationship patterns, whether that is like, I know I keep being given animals to teach me a lesson, so I need to start paying more attention to that. And I need to start allowing myself to receive those messages, because sometimes I push back a lot, because life just gets in the way, because I feel like I don't have the time, because I just feel anxious all the time. And that is because society tells us, that we have to live a certain way. Tracking everything. I will tell you, so many people are like, oh, it's so bad for you. He is a support dog. Totally. It is. He actually, he always tells me I need to smoke more weed. And it's really funny to me, because I think it's more, he notices when my energy isn't mine. He notices when I've taken something from somebody else and I need to calm myself down. These two truly do, like, when things, I don't want to say they get wild in our house, but we've got 3 really loud people that have really big booming voices, and it can like get loud just because we're constantly trying to talk over each other and it's a wide open space. And like, they are instantly affected by it, and it is a gift. Like, it is a huge gift, and once you start to see that in your own animals, that they are a reflection of you, that if they're struggling with something, it's mostly because the humans are struggling in the household. So if you look at truly what my dog's issue is, he feels like he's not heard. And what's like my number one thing is pretty much feeling not heard all the time. So doing this is a really great way for you to be able to create a system and then a user manual so you can actually say to people, this is what I need. Because I will tell you, one of the hardest things that I have had doing, hey, that's enough. You need to go to sleep. It's nap time. Look at Freya. What's Freya doing? Oh, dude. Yeah, and it's probably my nap time too. I haven't done my somatic work this morning, so I haven't released the stuff that he's upset about. He keeps me on my routine. He is very particular about when, obviously, and where he goes and does things. And I'm learning to use my own voice because he's teaching me about being vocal and about if you want something, say something. You know, there's so many lessons that we're being told over and over and over again, and we just don't see it because we're not allowing ourselves that introspection time or that time to just be, ow, guys, my feet are in there. They do this thing where they get a blanket and put it between their mouths and then just like do this to each other, and it's like kind of like biting, but the blanket's over my feet. Anywho, to the point, Emma, my life is crazy. And this is the other thing. I have always shared that, you know, I am never going to show up in this forum looking totally polished. I mean, maybe, but that's what I used to do. I used to show up like the way society needed me to be. I needed to be this official, well put together, got my makeup on, got all my shit organized, and like, oh, let me put up this little thing and bubbles will pop up and I can still do all that. But that's not the important stuff. The important stuff is actually sharing the messages that we were brought here to share. And I know mine is the more we connect with our natural rhythms and the natural rhythm of the earth, the more grounded we are, the more clear we become, and then we can actually live the life we were brought here to live. But when we're in this fight or flight, or when we're living a life that we're not living truly for ourselves, we're living for the systems and society around us, that's not living. That's just, to me, that's suffering. So like, do we want to create our own suffering? And I know I am privileged and I am sitting in a space that is but I also worked hard for this privilege. And I have always been led by my truth. And when something didn't feel right, I left it. So like wedding photography didn't feel right for me anymore, so I left it. Being a medium and giving messages that way did not feel right for me anymore, so I left it. And now I feel like I have finally found my truth. I have finally found what I was put here to do. Instead of putting it under the guise of what everybody else thinks witchcraft is, I'm actually going to show you how to live your life as opposed to trying on these masks, I guess, to show the world that I'm proving to you that I'm trying because I look like you. Well, that doesn't work for anybody. These masks, whether you're neurodivergent or not, we all put on masks. We all put on a front to make ourselves feel safe because we have at one point in our lives been told that it wasn't safe to do the things we're doing. And I got told that over and over. Odie? I know I didn't smoke enough weed. You can stop now. Odie. Let's see if this works. Seriously, I haven't smoked for like 45 minutes at least. It's so ridiculous. My dog is so ridiculous. Emma, slow down and listen to your body. Is it sore? Do you know how to fix that? Yes. So fix it. So ridiculous. This is my life. I have a dog that tells me to smoke weed. What the hell? And I just got a medication reminder to log my medications. Yes, I partook in some weed. Bing. I know. And now he's laid down with exactly, Michelle. One of the things that now that I've started to really understand my healing is sometimes I allow myself to get into the pain. And I remember this with my mother-in-law and her cancer treatment. You know, they always told her, don't let it get to the point where you actually feel something. Like, take painkillers before the pain shows up, because once the pain is there, it's actually harder to get it out of your body than it is to just keep the pain away. So you are right, Michelle. He is telling me, and now it's quiet. It's so ridiculous. Honestly, all of this stuff for me has been a gift. To be able to even share the experience with you of having Odie tell me that mom smoked some weed and you'll feel better and you don't need to feel pain in your knees. Because even when I got up just then, it was really achy and sore. And I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. My whole entire life, I felt that pain. My whole entire life, I thought I had an amazing pain tolerance. And it was actually all the trauma stuck in my body. And every single time I had a painful event, my body went, you're okay. You're safe. You don't have to feel it. And I would push the pain away. So I became very, very good at not feeling my pain. And this happens for a lot of neurodivergents. If you're a late diagnosed neurodivergent and your body in some way, shape, or form does not conform, you have like an ache or a limp, or you're kind of just a little bit wonky and you feel stiff. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying you might want to start looking in to that, especially if you are in the like 30 to 55 range and you're still in the menopausal range. As the estrogen drops in our bodies, the pain goes up. So I don't have enough estrogen anymore in my body to keep the pain at bay. and I don't have enough estrogen in my body anymore to keep the patience in. Like, I can't hold back anymore. I can't not tell my family how I'm feeling. It literally comes bursting out of me because I have no restraint anymore. That is what estrogen, like our hormones, balance us in a certain way, especially if you're a mother. It literally puts you into this mode of, I am the caretaker. I'm not allowed to hurt. I'm not allowed to take care of myself. I'm not allowed to, feel the pain because I just don't have time. And yeah, the crows were coming the crows were in the forest all morning with me. And it's been an incredible morning for messages. But we have to start learning how to take care of ourselves. Generation X didn't get the education we needed on our bodies, and we suffered for it. And we now know better, so we can do better. And what I want to be is an ancestor. I want to leave a legacy behind that nobody else has to go through what I went through, because the amount of trauma that is rolling out of my body now is, yeah, I know I'll have some more. I know. The trauma and pain. I know. I know. Even when I talk about it, I know. Take another hit, Mom. You need some pain meds, but even thinking about it releases. Okay, I know what you're saying. Releases, and if I wanted to, is that better? It'll go right to my. If you cough, it goes right into your blood. It's okay. Come here then. Come here. Do you want to help me? Come here. Come here then. He likes to lay with me and on top of me. Oh, are you going to be a little bad? Hey, go after that. He's very protective of his toilet paper rolls. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, you made all of that happen. I don't want anybody to feel this anymore. I don't want anybody to have to suffer and push down everything that they didn't think was appropriate for society. I don't want people to ever think that they're holding on to pain is keeping anybody safe, is keeping anybody happy. Because I can tell you, Odie, where are you going? Oh my God, stop. Oh, he went to go get his ball. It's not worth it to hold on to it. I have so much to get out and to talk about and to share and to work through. And this next year for me, and this is the start of it, and I actually got I got into my program and course material yesterday for my year-long integration course, and like the timing couldn't be more perfect. And I took some risks this month. financially that I never would have done before. I spent money on myself before I spent money on my family. And I don't do that. I put myself first this month, and I don't think I've ever done that. Even when I thought I was doing that, I wasn't doing that. And this program is groundbreaking. And this program that I'm going to be taking is really going to be the foundation of the wild healing. And the shedding is the preparation for the wild healing. So I want to run the shedding a couple of more times before I even release the wild healing to the public. And I think knowing that in my bones now is why the wild healing keeps getting pushed back, keeps getting pushed back, keeps getting pushed back. And the program doesn't get launched and nothing. It's because I need to let myself enjoy its truth and actually heal myself. And as healers, we don't often allow ourselves that time because we are so caught up in, I need to get this out. I need to share this because the world needs it before I do. We're thinking about the world before we're thinking about, no, this is mine. Let me enjoy it. Let me play with it. Let me feel it. Let me share it in moments that I feel like sharing it so I can show you the truth. Like doing these videos and saying, look what I did today. I went out into the woods with my dogs. I started to understand my communication with Odie more. I feel settled and so much more rooted into my life today. I can't explain it. And it's only because I said, I believe in you, Emma. I'm not going to give up on you. I'm going to have the discipline to take care of you. And that's my bear. That's my warrior. That's the part of me that I've always just let protect the outside and not protect the inside, not really protect me. I was using the bear to protect everybody else. I was using the bear to keep myself safe from my memories. But my bear is mine to bear. It's for me. It's not for anybody else. And I'm starting to get to know those pieces of myself. I'm getting to know what the drum is about. I saw this week, I've had so many friggin' visions because I'm aligning myself to the Schumann. I know. Jen says, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense. And I'm like, as I'm saying it right now, I'm literally having the epiphany, Jen. So doesn't it make so much sense? I now have to heal myself. I now have to show you how this truly works because I've given myself the space to do the work. And this is something that has been 6 years in the works. And I don't want to rush it. I want to take my own advice. I want to slow down and I want to share my magic. because I truly know what I've seen over the past couple of years, what I'm experiencing, how I'm even in this course. And when I show you some of the things, okay, that I'm learning in this course, you will be like, Emma, this course was made for you. It was. It's literally learning integration through the Ogham, through the Celtic wheel of the year, and through trees and our deep connection to nature. So not only am I going to get to learn how to integrate and teach you all of that through the wisdom of the trees, but I'm also going to truly, deeply get to integrate all of these messages that I've been receiving for the past couple of years. And I'm actually going to get to do the work for myself, the shedding, the integration course, the Acer course, and then bringing wild healing to life. And when I finally let go and stop trying to control everything, because I said to so many people, I said, I'm going to be in the UK in the fall. I'm going to be in the UK in the fall. And like, I didn't know what that meant. I mean, I totally know what it means now. And I'm still leaving room for magic to happen. Because I still feel I'm going, like physically going somewhere, and I don't know what it is. But now that I've learned to feel safe with my own wisdom, I got put through the ringer this past week, like rocked to my core. I had people witness it. I had people right there. Jen, you were one of them. You were right there with me, feeling the rage and feeling the hurt and feeling the like, what is going on? This is too much. I know, Odie, I am feeling a lot of feelings right now. I'm sorry, buddy. But Odie, I know. I'm feeling some I'm feeling big feelings too. I'm feeling them. But knowing this, just come here and give me a hug. Just come and give me a hug and it'll be better. Come here. Freya knows. Okay. So I am feeling a little wild. That's an understatement. A little overwhelmed, but also radicalized. And, I was saying earlier about Jane Goodall, and she truly, she was one of the first people that I looked at and went, I see you. I see me. Somebody that is so dedicated to nature that they didn't care that they didn't have an education. They just went for it. And their passion was just felt by everybody around her. And that's the legacy I want to leave. I strive to be that ancestor. And I think that's what I'm really understanding now, is why the spiritual community always angered me, was because are we not all just working to be better people? Are we not all just working to be better ancestors? Like, why is this something we're doing on weekends? And why is this something that is you take a special course to do this? Shouldn't we all just make room for ourselves? Like, this shouldn't be, it shouldn't be separate from our lives. Should just be the way we live our lives. And it should be ingrained in our society. It should be ingrained in our schools. It should be ingrained in the way we parent and the way we live. And I think that is why I have always struggled with, how do I package what I have to say into something, because it isn't just one thing. It's a way of being. And that's why it has to be a school. It's why it has to be that's why I chose to have this in Mighty Networks, so I could have different communities focused on different things. That's why I have set up this community the way it is. So if people just want to come and do shadow work, they can just come and do the shadow work. You don't have to come on our walks. You can do whatever you want. If you're here to learn about neurodivergence, awesome. If you're here to learn about how to track your energetic cycle, awesome. Take from it what you need. But the one thing that I ask, and that, has been very hard to get going, is you guys also giving that same level of commitment and showing up and doing the work and showing up and letting me know that it's doing something for you. Because I know one of my love languages, and that's something we will talk about later. And we'll talk about all the tools I have used to get here, because it hasn't been easy. I will talk about all the books. But this is about us showing up for each other in community and knowing that healing, and not just healing, but that discipline and that commitment to self is about commitment to community. And when we can actually see that that is the root of it all, I wouldn't have gotten through this if I didn't have Jen and Kelsey. And Melissa, like, so many people reached out to me. And Kelsey took me and I healed with the horses. And Jen talked me through some, like, I don't know how to parent teenagers. I don't know how to do this. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was truly held by my community. I was truly supported. And I knew that even though there was a point where I was so broken this week that I was looking for how much apartments were and what kind of jobs I could get, and I, completely came undone. When I'm at my lowest, I honestly, truly think the world is out to get me. Nobody wants to help me, and I am on my own. And I have felt that way for 50 years. And I am ready to not feel that way again. And this work that I have done for probably the last 7-8 years for myself and with other people is the foundation of what I do. And you have to know yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, so you can have an understanding of how to live in this world and function based on who you are, not anybody else, not how, my system works. I'm going to show you pieces of my system, and some of them may work. Jen took my trackers and turned it into a whole thing, and you can actually find that in the community. You can download her Canva template and adjust it the way that you want to adjust it. It's fabulous. There are so many resources in this community. And the more that we share those resources, the easier this gets. We are starting, some of us as neurodivergents, from the very beginning, all over again. When you have a late diagnosis neurodivergence, you truly have to, Odes, you have to learn to not be such a filter, okay? Let me just. This is usually when I give them Reiki on the table. Yeah, I love to see how other people take things and run with it. I mean, I know that this system, I've been teaching this, oh gosh, like I've been using the shedding format for 7 years and probably the tracking thing for over a decade. And it has really allowed me to find my natural rhythm in a way. Oh, there's a red squirrel. Here we go. Time to get busy. So, and I don't see those very often out that door. But it's time to dedicate to yourself to track those rhythms so you can understand what your ebbs and flows are, so then you can rest deeply when you need to, and you can hustle like the red squirrel when you need to. You know, and I'm going to teach you so many tricks and tips and ways to do that inquiry. You know, I love all of these spiritual tools, and that's what they are. They're tools. Like meditation is a tool. Chanting is a tool. Astrology is a tool. So many things can be a tool. YouTube is a tool. Everything is so accessible. There is a class for everything on YouTube. There is a, app for friggin' everything. There are ways to simplify your life and learn how to be, I don't want to say the master of your body, because I don't think we ever master it, because it's always kind of like moving and changing. Like, I think it's something like every 238 days, every single cell in our body changes. And when you realize that we can literally create from new every 238 days, then why are we not? Why are we staying where we're stuck, and why are we miserable? Like, last week I was not in the space to know that I could get myself out of that. So that's when I needed community. And that's really, truly why I've been holding on to this space this whole entire time, because I was trying to create the thing for myself that I didn't have. And I couldn't see it because I don't know why. When you look at your greatest work and what you're working towards, and Jen, as I'm saying this, I'm just realizing why you build houses. Oh gosh, we make the thing or create the space that we needed when we were a kid, right? So isn't that just amazing? So honestly, that's one of the questions that you write that one down if you want to use that for self-inquiry. It's like, what am I doing right now in my life for other people? And what in there is something that I probably need for myself? I mean, that's safe spaces. Yep. You're just making it physical. Isn't that crazy? Like you're literally making a safe house. I just yeah, Odie. No, that's no fun. No. Um, dude, I know. So I've created a community for myself. So I have a safe space to heal in. So that's what I'm going to do. So that is my big, crazy realization for today. That was a lot. Um, so what I'm now going to go do is I'm going to go and do an info dump because even though I know I love this community too, Michelle. Um, you are so very welcome. I am going to go and info dump and get some of that information out of my, I know, see, aren't these videos good? I've got to start doing them again because so much information. Okay, no, come here, please. Okay, whatever. So there were just some noises and bumps and things that just happened in the house. And now Odie's drinking. So I'm going to wrap this up because I know he actually wants to go out now because the red squirrel is out there. But we need safe spaces. So do you have a safe space to share in? Do you have a soft space to fall? I know I didn't for the longest time, and that's really hard. And then asking yourself, why am I not allowing myself to have those soft spaces? Like, why am I not, Jen and I and Kelsey talk about this all the time. I need Jen and Kelsey, right? Um, I just blew open Jen's shadow work for the season. This whole idea of we don't allow ourselves to just be us. I'm sitting here with no bra on, my dogs are barking, whatever, we need to show ourselves. I need to not be judged or feel judged. And in this space, I think I've created the environment where you could pretty much say anything and we'd be like, oh yeah, that's kind of interesting. Where'd you get that info? And we have the conversation. Odie, okay. I said I'd stop and I'm not stopping. I could go on, but this is a blast because shedding season is obviously wide open. Welcome. Bye for now.